This is the plaintiff, Kaya Williams. She says the defendant is her ex-boyfriend, and he gave her a check to cash for him. She deposited in her account, gave him the money, and now it was determined that check was fraudulent, and she's out the money. The defendant's claiming it isn't his fault because he was scammed on a refrigerator he sold. Huh? Oh, she's sorry, but that's not her problem. And she's here suing her ex for the $1,550.85 she's owed. This is the defendant, Eric Brunson. He says he received a bank check for a refrigerator he sold, and the plaintiff deposited it in her bank. And when it cleared, she gave him the money. A few days later, the bank claims the check was a fake. Well, he feels badly for the plaintiff, but it seems he was scammed, and all of this isn't his fault. It's the bank's. He's accused of cheating an ex.
All parties, please use your right hand. Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, you two used to date how long ago?
About 2 years ago.
And you broke up, but you stayed friends.
Yes.
And then one fine day, right before Christmas of last year, he calls you and says what?
He had a check that he needed deposited because he don't have a bank account.
Why doesn't he have a bank account?
I guess he doesn't want a bank account.
Why doesn't he want a bank account?
I'm not sure exactly.
Is there ever a good reason to not want a bank? You're a grown man. How old are you?
I'm 50.
Right. Why don't you have a bank
I don't
account?
like banks.
Oh, you just don't like banks?
No.
Oh, it's the years you suffered in the Depression that made you feel
No,
like
banks
banks
is just they.
Right.
You know, they
what
don't,
banks do is they get garnished, right, by outstanding child support payments, creditors, credit card companies. That's what happens with bank. So when someone says to you, "I don't have a bank account," it's never for a good reason. Okay? Ever. Anyway, so go on.
I deposited the check on the 20th.
Wait, what check are we talking about?
It was a check he received from a site called Let Go, a person that he was selling
Okay, so
refrigerator
Let Go
to.
is an app where you can sell used things.
Yes, appliances.
Okay, and what were you selling?
A refrigerator, a French door refrigerator.
Okay, meaning the two doors?
Yes, with the big bottom drawer.
Okay, and what kind of refrigerator was it?
A French door. Samsung.
Samsung.
Yes.
Okay, and what did you post it for sale for?
700.
Okay, and you got a buyer, and the buyer was from where?
Las Vegas.
Okay, you're in New Jersey.
Yes.
And your Las Vegas buyer wants to buy a refrigerator in New Jersey?
Well, I didn't know he was from Las Vegas at the time when he first texted me. He was just saying that he was interested in the refrigerator. And he asked me, was the refrigerator still in good condition? I said, yes. He says, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'll send you, I'm gonna send you the money that you, for you, there's 700 for you. I'm gonna give you a check, totally $1,550.
Mm-hmm.
700 is for you, 800 some odd dollars is for my movers, $20 is for you.
I'm sorry, let's back up. So someone tells you, I'm gonna buy your $700 refrigerator, but I'm gonna send you $1,500 so you can pay movers $800 to get the refrigerator to me.
Yes.
Nothing about that sounded fishy to you.
I did ask first, because I said, I even asked her, I was like, what about a cashier's check? Because I told him I don't do cashier's checks. I got the proof that I was telling him, saying I don't do cashier's check, I do PayPal or Cash App. So he kept on saying that he had some other mobile app or something like that we can go do the transaction through. And I said, I didn't want to do that. So he says, okay, well, I can send a cashier's check. And I said, okay, why don't you take checks? So I asked around.
Sweetheart,
and said,
I want you to
physically
stop
walk?
and listen to what happened. Someone, because I know that in a second you're going to tell me you sent him money, right?
That's how it goes. That's the road I'm traveling down. Yes.
So you literally, nothing rang an alarm in your thick head that if someone is telling me, I'll gladly pay you $1,500 and then you wire me $800. Nothing about that screamed, in your head when the former prince of Nigeria offers you an email, sends you in your head, nothing about, what do you do for a living?
I'm a canine trainer.
Say it again.
Canine trainer.
Canine trainer. So you run your own business?
Yeah, something like that. I'm trying to change it to my own business. It's a hobby of mine, but I'm changing it to my own
Okay,
business
so what
now.
have you done to pay the bills all your life? Like, what kind of jobs have you had?
Oh, I've had regular jobs. I have regular jobs, but
I just want to know how you spend your day, because I can't believe you fell for this.
well, I can't believe I fell for it either. I can't. That's why I'm here. But
So you
I thought it was
wired
smarter
the
than
person
that.
money. How much
Yes.
money did you wire? At no point did you stop and say, why would anybody pay this guy? This can't be right. Why would anybody pay $800 to buy a refrigerator for $700? Because what?
No.
Because Vegas doesn't have used appliances? Come on, what is wrong with you? So you get the cashier's check, and did you know this story?
Not the whole story, no.
Well, what did you think was happening? That he was selling a used appliance for $1,500? Or did you know that there was a shell game going on?
I knew he was selling it. I wasn't sure of the amount he was selling it for.
Did he ever tell you anything about movers and $800 and that stuff?
That was after the fact. I
Oh,
found
okay.
that
So you
out.
take the cashier's check, you deposit it in your bank, and then once your bank releases the funds,
Yes.
you give him the money.
Yes.
Because apparently it didn't occur to you that what's going to happen if it's a false cashier's check is that they'd take it out of your funds, because they're not going to lose the money. They didn't fall for the scam.
I didn't even know you could make a fake
Yeah, that's what I'm
cashier.
saying.
Oh, I need everybody within the sounds of my voice to listen. If it exists, then it can also be falsified. Counterfeit. It's not a real cashier's check, fellas. You see? It's not that you can make a fake, so you can make a fake anything. Always. Since the beginning of time, you can counterfeit. That's what you fell for. And this is what happens all the time on Craigslist, on Let Go. Oh, I'll tell you what. Can you give me your banking information? And I'll wire them. No. I don't have the cash, but I have a cashier's check. No. And this is why. Now, let me just understand something, because this is my favorite part of this whole story. If you wired 800 to them, where's the other 700 from her bank account?
I'm sorry, that's the one I took. So you, all right. Once,
Oh, let me see if I can.
once the money,
So you kept the other 700 that was taken from her bank account? Because, hey, you're out of refrigerator? Where's the refrigerator?
Yeah, the refrigerator is gone.
Did they actually pick it up too?
No, they didn't pick it up.
Oh, you had to throw it out. All right,
Yeah.
so what planet do you live on where you, who then realized he'd been scammed, they never picked up the refrigerator, take $700.
You're stepping ahead.
Take $700 of this girl's money once you realize everything that happened, and you don't even return the $700.
You know, can I talk?
Because that's what happened, right? You kept her $700?
Yeah, it was already spent. Soon, because that's what the reason I was selling the refrigerator, because I was.
And then he texts you he's going to return at least the $700, right?
We went through a whole process of me going to the bank with her, and they said it's going to handle it in-house and all that stuff like that. Because first of all, I didn't feel like
you think the bank is going to eat that? The bank didn't eat it, okay? You have a problem. You fell for a scam.
Yes, I did.
That, my dear, is a you problem.
Yes, I know.
It is not Ms. Williams' problem. You keep talking, oh yeah, I understand, but, yeah, I understand, but, yeah, I understand, but. But not only do you not understand, but you're such a louse that you actually, after being scammed and realizing, and you still have the refrigerator in your possession, you actually kept that girl $700.
Welcome back to the People's Court. I'm Harvey Levin. The plaintiff says she cashed a check for the defendant because he said he didn't like banks. She gave him the cash after putting it in her account. Guess what? Check bounced. The defendant says he was the one scammed. Let's go back into the courtroom.
Did you ever pay her the $700?
No, I never paid the $700.
Okay, it's been a couple months, right?
Yeah, but
Hey, you're working out all the time. I can see that. When was the last time he told you he was going to pay?
$700. I don't care. We was going through this
I'm sorry, you didn't pay her the $700.
We're going through this process right now.
Months have passed. So you tell me, when was the last time this guy told you, oh, I'll pay you the $700?
Well, he said he was gonna pay the $700 when he can. He'll give me $100 at a time when he can.
No, I don't think so. You know what I think? I think that the Eric Brunson problem is an Eric Brunson problem. It is not a Kahia Williams' problem. That's what I think. I think Eric Brunson has to go to the police, which I know you went, and you have to try to get this charge, and you have to, I know what, why don't you figure out where you wired the money to, and then you could sue, and then, because it sounds like a big fat hassle, right? But it's a you hassle. It's not a she hassle. $1,550.85, verdict for the plaintiff.
Well, no question, the plaintiff prevails. You just got leveled by the judge.
Yeah, she didn't. I mean, it's all right because I'm glad everything worked out the way. But she was supposed to. She's a nice person, and she's supposed to have got that money back. So I mean, I didn't have the opportunity. I was trying to go through all the process of trying to make sure she was trying to get it another way. But I mean, I don't mind paying it. It's only $700.
No, it's $1,500.
Well, yeah, now it is.
That's what she's out.
Yes,
You know, she's out
yes.
$1,500.
Yes.
It's
And
your
I'm-
problem to try and get that money back.
Yes.
All right, very good. Thank you very much, Ms. Williams. He was happy for you.
I'm glad he was happy.
I mean, you know, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Well, you know. Yeah,
I don't have to ask you, but I know you've learned a lesson here.
definitely.
I hope you have.
Yes, I have.
All right. Well, good for you. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Okay. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, I'm going to give you guys a warning. These check scams are all over the place. If somebody, especially some stranger or an almost stranger, comes up to you and says, hey, would you cash my check and send me the money? Don't do it.
This is the plaintiff, Anthony Jenkins. He says the defendant, his former girlfriend, who has a very volatile temper, kicked in 2 doors of his house, stole his glasses and a phone charger, and he's here to show her you can't just act like a crazy person and get away with it. That's why he's taking her to court and suing her for the $1,282.84 he's rightfully owed. This is the defendant, Trina Grimes. She says the plaintiff locked her out of the house in her pajamas. All her belongings were in the house, and a huge argument ensued. The cops were called. They told her, go into the house through a basement door, and that's just what she did. The plaintiff is the hothead who needs to be taught a lesson here today, and she hopes the judge is just the person to do it. She's accused of losing it. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $4,540 for lost wages and belongings the plaintiff is holding hostage.
All parties, please raise your right hands. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Anthony Jenkins, you are suing Trina Grimes,
Yes.
your former girlfriend, for $1,282.84 for repairs to items that she destroyed when she was living with you and some items that you say she took from you. You have a counterclaim for $4,540 for lost wages because, according to you, he got you fired out of spite. Tell me what happened.
Saturday, September the 29th, Ms. Grimes woke up early in the morning, and so I'm trying to talk to her. Ms. Grimes became belligerent, yelling, cursing at me.
What were you guys fighting about?
She got a phone call from one of her friends 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday morning. And I said, why is someone calling your phone at 6, 7 on a Saturday morning? You do not have to work. Okay, then she just started swearing and cursing at me.
Okay.
And that led to that, and I said, well, if you're gonna start all that, I said, well, you can leave my house.
Was she living with you?
No, she's been nice with me, but didn't stay with me, no.
How long had you been dating?
Over 7 years.
Okay.
I tried to get her to move in.
Okay.
But some of her problems, she never want to move in. But anyway, so the argument led, started cursing and stuff like that. And I asked her, I said, well, you can leave. So she put on the clothes and walked towards the back door. So I let her out the back door. When I let her out the back door, she went out, I locked it. So at this time, she's on the other side of the door. I guess realized, well, this man is for real. So she started banging on my door, talking about, this is a process. You just can't put me out your house like this and all that stuff like that. I said, well, I'm on the other side of the door. She just banging, 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 and stuff like that. So then I kept telling her, I was going to call the police. And she kept yelling, screaming, all that stuff like that. So time passed by. She finally makes her way into the house.
How?
Kicks it in, door in.
Kicks the door in?
Yes.
Okay.
She kicks the door in. So when she gets in the house, she said, well, if I can't stay here, can't nobody stay here. So then she grabbed on me, and during the process of grabbing me, I got a little scratch on my chest, but that was neither here nor there. So like I said, then she went to my table in my dining room, started grabbing stuff off the table, phone charger.
You saw her take your phone charger?
Yes.
Why didn't you take it right up back?
Because that's why I didn't want to touch her. I called 911.
You have a very different story, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So according to you, she goes in there and she grabs the charger and what else?
My glasses. And it was
Right in front of you. She grabs your glasses and she grabs your charger.
Because she know that stuff I basically use every day.
Yeah, that's
she even
the
grabbed
two things I'd be lost without.
Yes, she grabbed stuff like that. Then I walked outside waiting on the police to come. Okay, so by the time the police got there, they said, what happened?
Is she still there at that
She's
time?
in the house still, yeah, because I was knocking my neighbors upstairs. Said, y'all need to leave out this house. This girl downstairs gonna turn all the gas on in the house.
Turn the gas on?
Yes. Yes, definitely. Because she said if she did that, if she can't stay there, nobody can stay there.
Did your neighbors leave?
They came downstairs.
And did what? Watched?
No, they stood on the porch, got out from out their apartment.
You have a video of this, you
I
said?
have a video of her tearing my door up.
Can I see that?
Yes, you definitely can.
Oh, my.
You definitely can. You got to listen
According
to
to you, what happens?
Make sure it's all the way up.
The argument did start that morning because of a phone call from a female friend at 6 in the morning. And in the process of that, he said, get out. But I was still in my night clothes, so he was trying to put me out in my night clothes. I said, no, I need to put on clothes. So I went into the other room where my belongings was and started to put on clothes. He came in behind me. We started arguing. There was a little shuffle here, shuffle there.
What's shuffle?
Like he hit me, I stood up, hit him back, and a couple grabbing, and he got a scratch right here. By this time, I had already had my pants on, just a pants and a tank top. Then, as I get up after the scuffle, he's taking my belongings out of the second room where my belongings were stored at, and throwing them out the back door. So I goes out the back door to try to pick up the things that's rolling around on the floor. In that process, he locks me out. So I'm bamming on the door. He's not letting me in. So I started to kick the door. And I get the door open and I get in.
So you did kick the door?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Once I kicked the door in, I realized I don't have my cell phone. So I'm like, call the police, call the police. I kicked the door and called the police. Still didn't get him to call the police. He had my cell phone. He took my cell phone from me. So to get him to call the police, I turned the gas on the stove on. And that worked.
Do you live like this all the time?
No. But it worked. He called the police, and as soon as I can hear the police on the other end, which was very fast, I turned the gas off. The police officer comes and sees the situation, realizes that I'm not trying to commit suicide or harm anybody else. Assess the situation, ask what do I want to do with the situation. I just want to get my things and I want to go. The meantime, he's renting and he's raving. He's complaining about the little baby scratch on his chest. And I told the officer, it's possible that he could have got scratched. When I was in a sitting position trying to place my clothes on, he hit me. I jumped up and I hit him back. When you jump up and you hit somebody, you kind of grab, It could have been possible, but I don't have fingernails. So I don't know. Maybe he got really soft baby skin. So I admitted to that. And the officer just said, she want to get her things out. Let her get her things out. She's going to leave. You wanted her to go. She's going to leave. Okay. The officer realized I had things in a second room where he was tossing them out the back door from. So the officer like to diffuse the situation. You go get a truck, come back and get your things, just to calm us, from arguing. I said, okay, fine. I walk off and I go to a friend and I find my friend. She has a truck. So she comes and she helped me move my things out.
All right, and so now I'm going to see a video of you ripping up the door.
Yeah.
According to him. And $800 is to repair 2 doors. Why 2 doors?
Oh, because first door she broke into, that's what...
You already talking about that one. What's the second door?
This one here.
What is it? Where is it? How did it happen?
Outside. This is from outside. The police was there. Stood there right here while she demolished and kicked my door in.
The police were standing there when you kicked the door in?
The first door was kicked in because as he was throwing my things out the back door, I went out there to retrieve them before the police got there. The second door was kicked in after they came and realized that this was my belongings. Anthony agreed these was my belongings and allowed me to take some of the bags out.
So you're confusing the issue so much. Just tell me how the second door was kicked in. Were the police there?
The police was there. They gave
How did they watch you kicking a door?
The police said I can kick the door in because it showed that he was taking this as a joke.
The police told you go on, kick the door?
Go ahead and kick the door.
I think they're just watching you for amusement. What color was your purse that you left in there?
Yellow.
Oh, I just saw it on the table.
Right, it's behind the counter.
I just saw it on the table. It's bright yellow. What's that now?
Me drilling while she steady trying to break into the house.
What are you drilling?
Screws in my door.
Y'all are crazy. You're suing for $877.84, the amount owed to repair 2 doors. What proof do you have of that?
With the Home
May I see
Depot.
it? Did you repair it?
Not yet, no.
There you go.
Do you have a picture of the door that's there?
Definitely.
Oh my goodness, you made mincemeat out of the doors. Is this the one you kicked in with the police watching?
Yes.
How is this funny? I think this is horrifying. You know what the craziest part is of this crazy story? You kind of want her back.
I do. I got love for her. I'm not going to sit and deny I don't.
No, it's more than that. You want her back.
Because we got a lot of, how can I put it, a lot of time with each other, invested a lot of time with each other. I'm not going to sit and deny that because I try to work with her. I waited 88 days so I wouldn't have filed the claim, but she made no attempt to try to contact me.
Well, she wouldn't let you have any contact with her. That's when you filed the claim because you wanted to see her.
I can't go there because we're still in the court, so I got to leave that alone.
Say that again?
I can't go there because we got an open court case back in Rochester, so I can't.
What court case do you have?
She filed after.
Restraining orders?
Yes, that.
Do you each have restraining orders?
Yes.
You each have a restraining order against the other one?
Yes.
I place mine first, he follows suit, so when he do something wrong, he can call and say, I did exactly what he did. It's a big game to him.
So you're suing for the door. You're suing for $79 for glasses. You got his glasses?
Yes, I do.
In fact, that's the yellow purse. You
Yes,
brought it
it
to
is.
court.
Yes,
okay.
it is.
Do you have his glasses? Give the man back his glasses. When did you take his glasses? Did you take his glasses?
I didn't. You know how you're out with your significant other and they have extra things in their hand because we have the purse.
Oh yeah, my husband's always doing that.
They
He's
throw it in
constantly
there.
dropping
Just
his stuff
simple.
in my bag, and they say, "Where's my blah blah blah?" I don't know where you put your blah
That's
blah blah.
how I got the
Well, it's in your
glasses.
purse. Get it? No, you stuck it in that vast wasteland that is my purse. You find it. Oh, those are his glasses? Give him back his glasses. Well, did you take his charger?
I don't know what he's talking about, a charger, but I get a new phone charger with every new phone I get, and I have a bunch of them. So
Okay.
I brought one just in case he needs one.
There you go. All right, so the last thing we have left to talk about are the doors. And then now let's talk about your counterclaim against him, because according to you, you got fired.
Yes.
All right, why did you get fired?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, who flies off the handle more in relationships? Chicks or guys?
Chicks.
Why do you say? I think that's debatable, but why?
Yeah. I think it depends on the relationship.
But if you had to generalize.
Generally speaking, I'd say chicks.
More emotional?
Yes.
Okay, what do you think?
Females, definitely.
Anybody think males around here? Anybody think males? Nobody thinks males, huh? Really?
As a strong Italian woman, I've got to say females.
Wow, okay. Grand slam, going inside the courtroom.
Anthony caught my job, and I'm in the nursing field. And
what's your job?
I go to the homes.
Oh, you go to
consumers'
people's homes.
and
All
take
right, so
care
they
of them at
place
their
you
home.
in people's homes.
Yes.
All right, go on.
He caught my job and said some things.
What?
I don't really know what.
Well, then how are you going to prove your case?
He told me he would call my job.
What did he tell you?
And he's done it. He'll call my job and get me fired from my job and tell them weird things and get me fired. And he
Did you call her
attempted-
job?
Yes, I did call her job.
And?
I told she take advantage of TBI patients.
Say that again?
She take advantage of TBI patients, them the brain
Of
injury
TBI?
type people she work
Traumatic
with.
brain injury. That's what I work
She
with.
works
and
with
Traumatic
Alzheimer
brain- that
and
she takes
dementia.
advantage of her patients how? What did you say?
Oh boy, that she takes from them.
That she steals?
Yes,
So you called her job and you told them that she steals from her patients?
yes,
Why did you say that?
because I know she do.
How do you know she does?
Because she don't try to bring stuff to my house.
Because she what?
Brought stuff to my house.
What stuff did she bring to your house?
Little petty stuff.
Like what?
One day she took some boxes from one of her client named Scott and brought to my house.
Boxers?
Boxers, underwears.
Underwear,
Yes.
boxers.
She would take like little petty stuff like little forks, That's not an innocent face there, man. Don't let it fool you.
So, but it was good enough for you, and you want that
Oh,
face
no, I
back.
don't want it.
But
Oh,
you
no.
went to her job once she dumped you and wouldn't take your calls, and told them that she was stealing things from the clients.
It wasn't a case about she dumped me the cash. She kept running down the police station lying on me.
Did you steal anything from clients' houses?
No.
He says you would come back with boxers and forks and strange little
One time
things.
she done
I'm a
took-
female. What
One
would I
time
do
she
with
done took
boxers?
money.
I
One
don't
time
know.
she done took money from one of her clients.
What ended up happening? You got laid off, you got terminated. Did they tell you that it was because of that phone call? Because I see some letters from your employer where they know that he was just totally harassing you.
Right.
And they mentioned that he wouldn't stop calling there, that he kept showing up there, so why would they take his word for such a thing?
I don't know.
I don't know whether it's true or not. If it's true, you deserve to be fired, and he's just the messenger. If it's not true, then he should have to pay you for losing your job.
I work 2 jobs, full-time and a part-time job. What do I need to steal boxers and forks for?
Well, I
now,
don't
this
know.
man here is unemployed.
I don't know. I mean, some people do it for the thrill, not for the payment. So what did they tell you when they fired you?
Well, the first call came on October the 8th. I got a phone call. She said, we got a phone call, and it stated some things that violated the HIPAA law.
Because you're not, okay, so that's why you got fired. You're violating HIPAA. You can't do that. You were giving him information about some of your patients, which you can't say.
No, that's not true.
So the only communication they had with you was not, we heard you steal from clients. The only communication was, why does this guy know the name of your clients? You shouldn't be talking about your clients at home. On your lawsuit against her, I'm going to rule in your favor because she very gleefully broke both doors, and you can't just do that. But not in the amount that you're asking. I'm going to order her to pay you.
He had an option to open the door. He didn't let me back in.
No, I understand, but that doesn't give you the right to break down a door. You are not the wolf, and he is not one of the 3 little pigs. Okay, you have to go in there lawfully. You come with the police. You knock on the door. I'm stunned, and I believe you that the police officers thought it would be amusing to watch you freak out and break a door. I find that to be unconscionable. I can't believe that the police stood there while you did that. All right, on your lawsuit against him, I am not going to order him to pay your lost wages. However, I do think that it's a form of harassment for him to continuously show up at your work and, as he admits, tell them bad things about you.
Not just my job, my friends, not just my work. Everywhere I go, he's popping up there. I can't
and therefore, on that, I am going to order him to pay you $500, and therefore it's a wash. Goodbye, folks.
All right, guys, hold on.
So with the countersuit 5 and the 5 for the plaintiff, it comes out as a wash. And so come on in here. No money exchanges hands, but now it's just the 2 of you.
Yes, it is. Like I say, sorry they had to go this far, but hey, it went this far. What can I say? She loves attention, and that's what she keeps seeking for.
And you love...
Oh, don't get me wrong. I still got love for her. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to deny that. But she loves attention and following the wrong people.
Yeah. Okay. Well, follow Officer McIntosh around the corner there, and let's see what the defendant has to say. There he goes. What does your heart flutter when you see him?
Not anymore.
No.
No.
When did that stop?
Recently, when he called my job and got me fired.
So are you done with him?
Completely.
Really? Harvey?
Okay, seriously, Kurt, if you fight like this, not you particularly, but litigants like this, if they fight like this, you got to end the relationship. It's an omen, and it ain't going to get better.
This is the plaintiff, Taria Arden. She says the defendant, her ex-boyfriend, stole her car, got drunk and crashed it, and now won't pay for it. She's furious because she bought the car this year and now it's totaled. The defendant claims the accident wasn't his fault, so he doesn't have to pay. We'll see about that. She's suing for $3,000, a portion of what she is actually owed. This is the defendant, Alan Younger, Jr. He says the accident wasn't his fault. Insurance paid for the car and he simply doesn't owe the plaintiff any money. He's sad they broke up and was hoping there'd be a way to get back together, but now that she's gone and sued him in court, he isn't so sure they still have a chance. He's accused of ruining a girlfriend's day.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says her ex crashed her car and he won't pay. But he says the accident wasn't his fault. It's the case of the breakup, crack-up.
Sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Taria Hardin, you are suing your former boyfriend, Alan Younger, for $3,000, a statutory maximum in your state. According to you, you're out a lot more than that because he damaged your car, crashed your car. Tell me what happened.
Okay. On the night of June 12th, I was going out with a few friends of mine, and I decided to leave my car home. I drove in a car with my sister.
So you were out on a girls' night out?
Yes.
Okay.
Like around maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock that morning, I received a call that he was in an accident.
Who did you receive the call from?
Somebody that was on the scene with him.
Okay.
So I didn't know he had my car, so I'm just thinking he was in an accident with whoever he was with.
Are you still out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I tell my sister to drive me to the
Boy,
accident.
he's going to ruin your girls' night out one way or another. Go ahead.
I tell my sister to drive me to the accident, which she did. So when we got there, the first thing I saw was my car in the middle of the street. So I get out the car, and the cop car was like on the other side of the street. And I'm like, what happened? So the lady looking at me like, is this your car? I said, yes, I'm the owner of the car. So she said, we have somebody in the back seat. She said, do you have any identification for him? I said, I don't have it on him, but I'm pretty sure he have ID in the house. So she said, okay, well, is there any way you could go get his ID? Which I did, and I came back. So when I got back, I looked at my car. I gave her his.
Have you seen him at this point? Have you seen him?
Yeah, I see him in the back seat of the
But
cop
do you
car.
talk to him or you?
No.
Okay.
So I go to my car and I'm looking like, it looked hideous. Within the next 2 minutes, a tow truck came. The police called the tow truck to take the car. At the time, I didn't know, but he hit two parked cars.
Oh, they're parked cars.
Exactly. I seen one person outside at the accident, but I didn't know who he was. He was just snapping
How did the
pictures.
parked cars get in your way?
Then I was intoxicated and I blacked out.
That's your defense?
No, but that's the part what happened. I blacked out. So when I woke up.
Did you get arrested?
No.
So if you found out that the guy didn't get arrested and he had passed out drunk in the car, would you go to the brass of the police department and complain?
No, I now go to a police station.
How come?
No.
You wouldn't do it? Huh? Would you do it?
No, I would just get the money. Fix my car.
Okay, I mean, you're being honest. Would you do it? Would you go to the police?
That's not any of my business. I'll just be happy to be alive still and just get the money back and fix the car.
These guys are all on the run, I can tell, going inside the courtroom.
Why didn't he get arrested?
They didn't even give him a ticket. The lady, the cop that was in the car with him, she asked me, she said, could you just take him home?
Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
Well,
And
why
that's
didn't you
what I
say
looked at
no?
her.
Arrest him.
I looked at her and I just was shaking my head like, are you serious? Nothing.
Do you know the officer's name?
It's on his police report.
Hand it to me.
I couldn't even believe it myself.
Where is this?
No.
Newark. It's not like this is Mayberry RFD in some little town where everybody knows everybody else and you just dry them off.
Exactly.
Did you know the cop?
She probably know me. I'm short dog. She probably know me.
Why would she know you, short dog? What's so cool about you? You heard me.
I'm a boxer. I was becoming a professional boxer, so people know me through the town.
Is he all that?
No.
So I'm at a loss. What's your defense? I got drunk and blacked out. That's not much of a defense. Can't say it's the other guy's fault. The other guys were inanimate objects. How long did you date him?
2 years. But this isn't the first car he crashed on mine. So
get out of here.
No.
He crashed another car?
Another car. It was just like this, but I mean, another incident where.
Why would you leave your keys around this guy?
You know what? I thought he learned his lesson. If I would have known that it was gonna repeat itself again, I swear I would have hit my keys.
First of all, does he have his own car?
No.
So he doesn't have a car, and you left him at home, and you don't take your keys with you?
No, I had my keys, but I had a spare key, which was in my drawer, supposedly hidden, but he went in there and took them.
So you dumped him after this?
Of course.
Right away?
No.
No?
No.
When did you go ahead, I'm listening.
When I finally did get rid of him is when I asked him, when I found out the car was totaled. I thought that it could be fixable. But when the insurance company told me that it was a loss and I'm asking him for the money. At first, he told me he was gonna repay me. He was gonna pay me $200 every week until I could at least get another car. After about the second week, he just was like, oh, well, I don't owe you anything. It's like you're gonna get the money back from the insurance. And I'm like, they're not gonna pay me to get another car.
No.
They might pay for the rest of this car, but they're not gonna pay me to get another car. Meanwhile, I have to take my kids to school on a bus. I have to get to work on the bus, and he didn't even care.
What's your response to that?
I cared.
Well, show me how you cared. How much did you pay?
She kept on harassing me.
You mean asking you to pay for your accident?
Yeah, calling me all times of night and stuff. So I was getting aggravated. Ain't like I wasn't gonna pay her, but she kept on harassing me.
I don't know. It is like you wasn't going to pay it because you didn't pay it. So how much money did you pay her? What was your name? Short Dog? Because I'm sure you make a lot of money, and so you have the money to pay her. So what did you pay her for this accident?
Well, at the time I ain't paid nothing because she was rushing me, and I don't like to be rushed.
I don't like to be rushed. You go take that bus and put your kids on the bus.
Exactly.
And that's what you have to do because I don't like being rushed. Yeah, you ain't all that. You know what you are? You're a guy who owes $3,000. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so that decision goes the way the plaintiff is the defendant right here. He called himself Short Dog in the courtroom. What's your reaction to the outcome?
Oh, man. You know, it is what it is. You know, I crashed the car, so...
You take responsibility for it.
I wasn't going to pay for it. She just kept on harassing me, and I don't like to be rushed, so... It's a lesson learned. It's a lesson learned. It's a lesson learned.
What's the lesson that you learned out of it?
Not to drive drunk.
Well, good. You still have feelings for her?
Yeah, deeply.
Okay. All right, right around the corner this way, okay? All right, so come on in here and tell me how you feel about what you just heard from him.
I mean, he know what he did was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy.
He said he still has feelings for you.
No, that is over.
Well, he does. He does.
I don't.
You have nothing? You've moved on?
Of course.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, here's the deal. She should take the money she won and give it to the insurance company, since the insurance company has already paid her and she's really not allowed to get double recovery under her policy. I know a lot of people don't do that, but technically under the policy, she is supposed to do that, and she should mail that money over to them.
This is the plaintiff, Renee. She says her ex-girlfriend, the defendant, changed the locks on her at the apartment they shared, stole her belongings, won't give them back, and she's suing her for every penny she's owed. The girl's gone mad. She's not going to allow her to get away with taking her stuff, and she thinks the judge will agree and award her that $10,000 she's seeking. This is the defendant, Jade. She says the plaintiff attacked her one night, bit her like a dog right on the breast, and she ended up filing a restraining order against her. According to that restraining order, the plaintiff had 24 hours to retrieve her belongings. She gave her extra time so she could move everything she wanted, and that was that. Now the girl's suing all this time later for things she abandoned? Come on. She's accused of letting a lover down. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,017 for hospital bills and pain and suffering.
All parties, please raise your right hands. Tina, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Okay, you've asked to be referred to only as Renee.
Yes.
And you've asked to be referred to only as Jade. Renee, you are suing Jade for $10,000 in items that you left behind when she got a restraining order and got you out of the apartment that the two of you shared, plus pain and suffering. You are suing for $5,000.17 for injuries that you say you sustained during the breakup because apparently it got physical.
Yes.
Okay, tell me what is going on, Renee. You start.
On July 31st, we got into a physical altercation. I ended up going to the ER.
Is that the first time you two had gotten into a physical altercation, or has it happened before?
No, that was the first time.
How long had you two been dating?
We were together 6 years.
6 years.
Yes.
And how long had you been living together?
2.
2. What happened? What was the reason for the altercation, if there's ever a good one?
We were broken up at the time, and she was trying to get me to move out. So she started saying, okay, since we're going to be living together, since your bedroom is bigger, I feel like you need to pay more rent. And I disagreed. I felt like, we've been splitting everything 50-50. It should stay that way. So the next thing I know, we end up getting into an altercation.
Well, how did that happen?
I was folding clothes. I had him on the left seat and the couch, and she sat on the clothes. And I moved the clothes, and she says, if you touch me again, I'll f you up.
How did you move the clothes?
She was sitting on it. I moved the clothes from under her. Next thing I know, she stands up and starts socking me and drags me off the couch.
Who hit who first? According to you, she hit you first.
Yes.
Okay, go on.
And trying to defend myself, my nail broke, as my acrylic and my real nail broke off. So I went to the ER that same day.
Did she have any injuries?
I bit her. She was on top of me. I could not get her off of me. To get her off, I had to bite her.
So as it turns out, you find out, how quickly do you find out that she went out and got a restraining order against you?
This was the next day, but when I came back after.
And so in the restraining order that you get against her, according to you, it's a very different story of the physical altercation, correct?
Yes.
What is it you say happened?
We got into the altercation. She was folding clothes on the larger couch. I told her that I was going to come into the living room and watch a movie. And so I told her I was going to sit on the little couch because it had been a lot of childish antics that were going back and forth.
What was the problem? You guys were good for 6 years. Like, what was the problem?
Well, when we separated, she started seeing other people. I started seeing other people. And
you were still living under the same roof?
Yes. So it was just conflict just based on that reason solely.
How long had you been living under the same roof, broken up?
Since January.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, we were friends before.
Well, you were friends before, but it's hard to be friends after.
Right.
It's kind of different, isn't it?
It's much different.
Okay, so go on.
So I informed her that I was going to sit on the little couch, and she decided to take her clothes from the big couch and say, no, I'm folding here. And I informed her, how can you use both couches? I would like to sit down and watch the movie. So I took her clothes and I moved them and I put them back. They were still folded as well. And she said, don't touch my clothes. And I said, well, I informed you that I was going to sit before I touched your clothes.
Doesn't it sound ridiculous as you're talking about right now? Like, aren't you humiliated right now explaining this
it's
in my
very
courtroom?
ridiculous.
All right, go on.
And so, so then she put the clothes back. I sat on the clothes. She pushed me. I told her, do not put your hands on me again. She put her finger on me. I said, no, I didn't say your finger. I said your hand. Yes, very childish. So she pushes me. She pushes me again. And so I get up and I take her clothes basket and I empty them all into the floor. She gets up and she attacks me. And then we just begin. She, like a football player, kind of. Like, she just ran at me and tried to, I guess, knock me down. I don't know what she was trying to do.
And what happened?
And then we began fighting after that.
How did you fight?
Like fist fighting.
Okay.
And then the altercation, she pushed me and then her finger got tangled into my shirt. And when I pushed her off of me, I guess that ripped her nail off. And so we continued to fight. I had blood on my shirt.
Who hit the first punch?
She did. We continued to fight. Then she got me on the ground and she was on top of me. I'm trying to push her off of me. And she's still coming at me like this, and she bites my breast. She scratched my other breast. I have scratches. I also have the pictures to show both sides of my breast. She scratched my right side, and she bit my left side.
Let me see. I know you both have pictures of your injuries. Did anybody call the police that night?
No. The police report was done the next day. The same day I got the restraining order, and I didn't get the police report.
What time did you go to court to get a restraining order?
Early in the morning. First thing in the morning.
Who gave you that advice?
Both of my moms.
Your mom and your stepmom?
Yes.
Who's with you here today?
My mom.
Good God.
Like a dog.
Well, you both acted like animals, frankly. I mean, I don't know who hit the first punch and who didn't hit the first punch. I know, whoever hit the first punch and put the first finger and, it sounds like you're both right there in there, you know? So you get a restraining order the next day.
Yes.
And It's served on you later that day.
Later that day.
All right. In the restraining order, it says that you need to get all of your stuff out of there immediately, right?
If I have a restraining order, I'm not able to go in.
No, you're able to go in and escorted by a police. Show me everything you got served with. You're able to go in escorted by a police. It's a tactic. I know why she did that, and I know why her mother gave her that advice. It was very good advice. It makes you get out of the house and get all your stuff out. You're both on the lease, right?
Yes.
This is a tactic that has been used for years, ever since restraining orders came about. And that, which obviously have a very good place in our system. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. The problem is not the system of restraining orders. The problem are the people who may be abusing it. Right. That's where the problem lies. In any event, show me what you got served with that day.
And the restraining order itself was bogus.
I don't know what that means. The restraining order got granted on the 22nd and made into a permanent. Is that incorrect?
No, it was not made into a permanent. It was thrown out on hearsay. Her word
so it
against
was
my
thrown
word.
out on the 22nd?
Yes.
All right. But see, the real relevant question is what was in effect from August 1st through the 22nd, which is that there was a court order telling you to get your stuff out immediately.
Okay.
Right? Does it or doesn't it?
It does.
And then what happened?
Okay, I got a text message August 4th saying that I needed to have everything out by the 9th or it'll be trashed. So I went August 8th, met up with her mother. I got enough things. I got trash bags, tried to put clothes, things from the kitchen. I ended up giving things to the neighbors, and I still had stuff there. And once I got there, her mother, I think I got there around 10:45. Once I got there, her mother had to, all of a sudden said she had to leave. So I had till 1:30 to get everything. So I got
I just don't understand how a 6-year relationship ends up like this, where you don't give a person a couple of weeks to go ahead and get the bed. It's furniture. It's hard to move. How would you be able to do it?
That's why I gave her from the 1st to the 9th.
Oh, that was so generous of you. Except for that, it sometimes takes longer than that to get your act together to be able to move furniture.
Correct. But she never stated on the 9th, which was the last day.
I see a series of texts where she then, and later on in the month, asked, can I pick up my stuff? And then you folks say to her, hey, you had your chance. And then after that, according to you, you see it sold on Craigslist?
Yes, she posted the bed on Craigslist.
When? Do you have a copy of it?
Yes.
Did you still have it after the 9th?
Yes, I still have the
What's
bed
your
now.
problem then?
After the
You have it now?
Yes, it's still there. And that's why I really...
Well, when she tried to pick it up in August, why didn't you just let her pick it up in August? You'd be done with her.
Because by then, it was my current girlfriend was there, and they had hostility between them, and I didn't want any extra.
Why don't you ditch the drama and put your big girl panties on and handle your own stuff? I don't get it. All right, tell me about your counterclaim against her.
My counterclaim is for, it's $5,000. It's for the biting, the ER, the dermatology, and the course of...
Tell me about the dermatology.
The dermatologist and the course of plan that they had me set up to try to get my breast back to the way that it was originally in.
Right.
The storage
What was that? What did they do?
They gave me, it's a couple of things. They gave me 3 different things. One has a steroid in it, and it's supposed to make the tissue form back into all of the pockets that it's not in. Another one is like a scar. It's similar to a Band-Aid, but it's stronger, and you put it on there and it'll make it smooth. And then the other one is to stop the pain, because I get lightning strikes in my boob from the tissue not being in the correct place. So it's supposed to help with the pain that I...
When you say lightning strikes, you mean it's sharp pains?
Yes,
is what you mean.
it's surging sharp pain in my breasts.
Wow. So you're suing for pain and suffering.
Pain and suffering, the storage fees.
What are the storage fees?
It's $2.50 a day from August 1st until she gets all of her items out.
Wait, but I have your text where you're saying it's too late for you to get your items out. So how are you going to sue her for storage fees for stuff that you wouldn't let her get out?
She only attempted to get it out once.
I'm sorry. I have your text and your mother's text where they're saying, no, you may not get anything else out. That you're done. How are you then going to sue for storage to the tune of $560 when that stuff you wouldn't let her get out?
Because afterwards she stated that she knew that it was a lie and that we still had the items. And
then she should have broken in and gotten them?
Well, actually, she did break in before that. She did break in.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So would you ever live under the same roof with somebody who you just broke up with? What do you think?
No, never.
Why?
it would be too awkward. Wouldn't running into them and I don't know.
Yeah, but what if it's like an amicable breakup and you just didn't, it didn't work, but you don't hate the person or anything?
I still think it's a bad idea. Shouldn't do it.
Anybody think you should do it? Anybody think it's okay?
It depends. If he's paying half of the rent, why not? Hey.
Oh, so it's all about money, huh?
Exactly.
I got it. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
When the locks were changed for the restraining order, she did break in.
Look, I'm giving you a lot of grief. You deserve a lot of grief too. This is an unfortunate situation. Relationships of 6 years break up all the time without this kind of drama, violence, and hatred.
I agree.
They really do. There was no reason for this one to break up this way. It's insanity. Do you have any how long had you had this bedroom furniture?
4 years.
How long had she had that bedroom furniture?
4 years.
It sounds right. Do you have a receipt for the actual bedroom furniture?
No, I don't have a receipt. I tried to go to the place I got the furniture from. They're no longer open. So I went online and kind of got about a adjustment of about the price. I have pictures of both and online.
I'm concerned about many things. There is, in fact, a court order, the beginning of August, that says get your stuff out immediately. Immediately is a term of art. It's not 24 hours, it's immediately. So it's up to a judge to interpret how immediate something is immediate, all right? It is one thing to get your dresses out immediately. That shouldn't take any time at all. It is another to get furniture out immediately. Immediately is going to mean something a little bit different for furniture. Okay? By 8 days after that order, she was told, too bad, so sad, you're out of gas. By 30 days after that order, by 22 days, the order was no longer in effect because it was abolished. But by 30 days, when she's saying, look, can I get my stuff? Let me make arrangements. Tough. August 9th, you had to get your stuff out here. So I find that she had no real way to get that stuff out, particularly because I think you got the worst of that fight. I think that fight was very spontaneous. I think it's going to be really hard to figure out who threw that first punch. I think you were both in it to win it at that moment. I think you're both equally culpable for what happened there. Not that I think your nail being ripped off is not awful, but you won't believe how that looks, okay? But it doesn't matter who ends up getting the short end of the stick after the fight happens. It matters why the fight happens, how the fight erupts. And I think that this is what we call in the law mutual combat, where you're just both at it at the same time. It is impossible to figure out who started it in this case. So your lawsuit against her for physical damages and hospital bills, and your lawsuit against her for physical damages and hospital bills, neither one of you are going to win it because there's no way either one of you could sustain that burden of proving who started it here. Okay? Now, as for the items that you're suing about, here's how I rule. I find that you were entitled to the depreciated value of the items because I don't think that the opportunity that you were given to remove your items out of there was reasonable. I am ordering her to pay you $1,500 for the depreciated value of those items. As for your lawsuit against her for storage, which is pretty much the last thing left, because of the reasons that we've already discussed, the answer to that is no. Do you want to just get your furniture?
Please.
She already said it was gone. I don't know if she's damaged it or what. She said
that's a problem. I don't even want. That's the problem is that there's no civility anymore. I'm not going to do it. You can get rid of the furniture. Yeah, that's the situation you placed yourself in. $1,500 verdict for the plaintiff.
So the plaintiff takes $1,500 in this decision, and the defendant comes out here empty-handed. What's your reaction?
I'm fine with it. I really just wanted all her items out of the bedroom in the first place. If she really wanted them, she could have texted me or texted somebody else.
How did things get this bad between you two?
I don't know.
What have you learned about yourself?
I learned to know when a bad relationship is bad and not to stay in it for 6 years.
All right. Right down this way, okay? All right, so the judgment goes your way. You satisfied with what you come out with here?
Yes, I'm glad everything's over with and I can move on. It's pretty sad that she had to lie. I could have got my things without having to come here.
Same question to you. How did things get this bad?
I have no idea. Just glad it's over with.
What have you learned about yourself?
To never stay that long and...
Same thing she said. Harvey?
So here's the deal. An assault is an assault. It doesn't matter whether it's part of a breakup or not. It is a crime.